break down for you guys knee knee instabilities, limitation of flexion and limitation of extension. These are things that if you have a knee injury, that obviously you would have these three conditions, where it's limitation of flexion, limitation of extension, and instability of the knee. You can get rated three times of it. And this is just an example, real quick, of limitation of what the knee flexion is. Um, so obviously you're going to be at 90 degrees, 140 degrees, 45, 20, and 10. This is what it looks like. um, what I wanted to explain to you guys is the limitation of motion of the knee. If the knee is not frozen, but it is limited in extension and cannot straighten all the way, which is the limited in extension, then it is rated under this code. If the leg can only straighten to within 45 degrees of being completely straight, then it is rated for 50%. So meaning that this is where you have it straightened out. If it can only go up to here, then you're at 50%. If it can straighten up to 30%, which is about here, then you are rated at 40%. If you could move it up a little bit more to 20 degrees, then you are rated at 30%. And obviously 15 would put you at 20, and 10 would put you at 10, and then the 5 degree mark would put you at 0%. Now, if the knee can straighten but cannot bend all the way, it is rated under this code. If the knee can only bend to 15 degrees, meaning that you have straightened it out and you can only go down, you know, 15 degrees, then you're at 30%. If it can only go down to 30 degrees, you are at 20%. And if it can only go down to 45 degrees, you are a 10%. So again, remember, limitation of extension is when you can't go up no more than 45 degrees. You are rated at 50%. You hit up 30, you can't go up no longer than 30 degrees. You are rated at 40%. Now, if your knee cannot bend all the way down, 30 degrees, then you are rated at 20%. So what I'm trying to tell you is that, let's say your limitation of extension can only go up to, you can't go up and straighten it out to 30 degrees. You are rated at 40%. So you get 140%. If your limitation of flexion, meaning you can't go down, then you no more than 30 degrees, then you are rated at 20%. So that's another 20%. So 40 and 20%, that right there alone would give you, real quick, that alone right there would give you 52 on the rating chart, which is 40 plus 20% of 60, which give you 12, and that would be 52. Now, if you have instability of the knee, instability of the knee is where obviously you wouldn't be able to have, be able to, how can I put it? You're a risk fall. There you go. You're a risk fall. So you tend to fall. That is another rating. And I want to show you where on the DBQ that would explain. This is so again right here. Limitation of flexion. This is where I wanted to explain. So you got flexion and you got extension. So flexion you would go back all the way to 140 degrees. Extension you would go all the way up. So this is where you would get rated. And if you get the joint movements, in regards to your knees, then you would, get these two ratings. Now, instability of the knee, this is where I wanted to show you, is that you get another one, which is another side effect, and you get, depending on your knees or whether it's both of them, you have to get a ICD code and a date of diagnosis. So this is in this DBQ. These are things that you can go to your doctor and you can get it filled out by your doctor, and your doctor can perform these exams for you. And when, let's say you didn't get the rating that you wanted when you went for your CMP and they only gave you 10%. God forbid, but let's say they only gave you 10% or even 0%, but at least they service connected you. Or even if they didn't service connect you, a DBQ would help you out with this. And if you get this DBQ right here, get it filled out properly. I'm just going with knee instability right now just because I know a few guys of mine that have this illness, this injuries to their knees. Then you would get a knee instability. They will fill this out, jot in the knee instability, fill out whatever information they have to fill out the rest of it, and they will go to the range of motion. And on your ROMs, they will fill out your flexion and extension depending, and they will run these exams. And then after that, obviously, they would fill out the rest on ROM measurements after repetitive use of testing. And pain could get filled out on regarding if it's active, passive, or repetitive, based on the repetitive testing. So again, when they tell you, oh yeah, pain doesn't get rated, pain does, yes, at some point in the DBQ, it gets mentioned, it gets, uh, you know, you get to describe this, and this is with this DBQ, it will get you what you need. Now, whether you have a functional loss or additional limitation of ROMs, obviously the doctor would fill the rest of this out. So again, like I was explaining earlier, with the knee, there's so much. Now, let's say I want to run this real quick. You have instability of the knee, and you have a range of motion, a limitation of range of motion, which is a flexion and an extension. Now, based on that situation, if you end up putting all the weight, or you're compensating all your weight and strength with your other knee, whether it's left or right, then, and if you continue, if you start to receive, like not receive, but see that your other knee is starting to give out, now that becomes a secondary illness and a secondary injury to your primary injury, which is the knee that you originally started with, with the range of motion, lack of range of motion, and, well, limited range of motion, and instability. And you could put in for this. These are things that come within time, and little by little, it's not something that you would end up uh feeling right away. But if you already have it, I would suggest you put the second knee on, as a secondary, and the primary knee that everything started with, on your DB, on your claim. And always word yourself correctly. Remember, if it happened in the service, you stick with it, that it happened in service, not that you aggravated it somewhere else. Or if you did aggravate it, it should have been aggravated while you were in service. All right, guys. So again, I just want you to understand how this whole knee condition, how you can get rated multiple times in regards to the knee condition, and how to go about getting rated for all three, which is flexion, extension, and instability of the knee. All right, guys. If you have any other ones like tears, uh, tibia fractures, fibular fractures, joint ankylosis, osteoarthritis, ruptures, again, DBQ would help and would cover all of these, and get the proper ICD code in regards to the percentage that you're going to be, well, not the percentage, but the correct injury that you would be seeing. And you will see these ICD codes right here. These are the codes here themselves. Code 5256 is for the loss of use, amputation of the knee. And obviously, if you have amputation is below the knee, then 5165 would subside for you. And these are the codes for limitation of extension and limitation of flexion right here. All right, guys. So know your codes. Military Disability Made Easy.com is a great website. Again, this is the website I go to, and just follow it. All right, guys. Take care. Look, do me a favor. Go to my YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the alert button, and follow. All right, guys. If you want, hit the like button. If not, hit the dislike button. It's up to you, whatever you want. But at the end of the day, I just wish to, share the information from helping my guys out, and the information that I get. I wish for you to guys to get, educate yourselves and be able to do it yourselves. Don't go right away and give away your money, to other people, when you can use that money yourself, whether it's retro pay or whatever. All right, guys, take care. Bye bye.